Okay, class, in today's lesson, we are solving systems algebraically, which is found in section 3-2, part 2 of your book. Our objective is going to be to solve linear systems using elimination. So in example 1, we are asked to solve by elimination to find the solution to the system. So when we are solving by elimination, I probably should have stacked these, so I'm actually going to go back and show this as being stacked. So we have 4x plus 2y equals 9, and I'm going to cross it out because I don't want to see that anymore. Negative 4x plus 3y is equal to 16. Why am I stacking? Because we're going to solve vertically anyway. Now, to use the elimination process, our goal is to eliminate a variable so that we can then substitute it. So elimination is actually a combination of elimination and substitution. So we'll notice that by first glance that it's going to be easiest to eliminate the x variable because they're automatically opposites of one another. So 4x and negative 4x will go away. If I continue to solve vertically, I will have 5y equal to 25. That works out great. No decimals or fractions. So if I divide by 5, I'll have y is equal to 5. That's awesome. Okay, then we will take y is equal to 5, and we can substitute it in either the numerator or the denominator. I am going to choose the first equation because all of the numbers are positive. So let me do that. So I would have 4x plus 2 times what I'm substituting, which is 5, equal to 9. So I have 4x plus 10 equal to 9. Again, I'm solving for x, so I'm going to subtract 10 on both sides and get 4x is equal to negative 1. Finally, divide by 4. So x is going to be equal to negative 1/4. That's fine with me. That's a fraction at that point. And remember, our solution is an ordered pair. So our solution will be negative 1/4, 5. And that is our final answer. All right, so we're going to practice again and try one. And again, I should have stacked these, so I'm going to go back and stack them. So negative 2x plus 8y equals negative 8, and we will have 5x minus 8y equal to 20. Again, we're solving vertically, and at first glance, the y's are already ready to be eliminated. So I will have 3x is equal to 12. If I divide by 3, x will be equal to 4. Again, great whole number. That's a 4. So then I can substitute it into either equation. The first equation has 2 negatives. The second one has 1. So I'm going to choose to solve using the second equation. So here we go. We're going to have 5 times x, which is 4, minus 8y is equal to 20. That would give me that 20 minus 8y is equal to 20. If I subtract 20 on both sides, I will get that negative 8y is equal to 0. And we know when we divide that we will have y is equal to 0. So in this case, our ordered pair should be 4, 0. Sorry, so our ordered pair is 4, 0, meaning our solution is 4, 0. And that is our final answer. All right, so in example 2, again, I should have these stacked, so I'm going to rewrite them to be stacked. So 3x plus 5y equals negative 5. So let's ignore that one. And the reason why this example says equivalent system is because at first glance, neither equation or neither variable in these equations can automatically be eliminated. No x can automatically be eliminated, nor the y. So we would have to force that to happen. So we would do that by determining what the least common multiple is and being sure that there is an opposite of each. Normally I determine that by seeing if at least one of the, for example, if I'm looking at the x's and I want to determine if I want to get rid of the x's, I would do that by being sure that one of them is already negative and the other one is positive. In this case, both x's and both y's are positive, so we're going to have to force it. So the least common multiple for the x's is 6, and the least common multiple for the y's is 35. So just so that I can deal with smaller numbers, I'm going to choose to eliminate the x's. Doesn't matter which one you want to make negative, so I'm going to choose to make the first one a positive 6, so that means I need to multiply by 3. I'm going to choose to make the second one a negative, so I'm going to need to multiply by negative 2. So now I'm going to fix both equations. Remember that we're distributing to every term that I've put in the parentheses. So the first one will be 6x plus 21y is equal to 12. And the second one is negative 6x minus 10y is equal to positive 10. All right, the x's are gone now, and I'm left with 11y equal to 22. That works out nicely because if I divide by 11, y will equal 2. That's great. Now I can take that information and substitute into one of the equations. Again, you can substitute into the first or the second. I'm going to choose to substitute into the first one because there are no negatives. So here we go. 2x plus 7 times y, which is 2, is going to be equal to 4. So 2x plus 14 equals 4. If I subtract 14, I will have that 2x is equal to negative 10, divide by 2, so x is equal to negative 5. So in this case, our final answer will be negative 5, 2. Let's try that again. So we have, well, again, I need to stack them. So 5x plus 2y is equal to negative 4. Okay. If I want to eliminate the x's, my least common multiple is 15. If I want to eliminate the y's, my least common multiple is 14. So again, to deal with smaller numbers, technically the smaller least common multiple is 14. So let's go ahead and get rid of y's this time. Again, it doesn't matter which one is negative. So I'm going to make this one a positive 14 by multiplying by 2. And this one to be a negative 14 by multiplying that by negative 7. Remember to distribute throughout the entire set of parentheses. So that will give us 6x plus 14y is equal to 30. And negative 35x minus 14y is equal to 28. Thus will give us negative 29 x is equal to 58. So if I divide by negative 29, I will get that x is equal to negative 2. That's our first term. Now, again, I'm going to choose to use the first equation to substitute back into because there are no negatives. So here we go. 3 times my x variable, which is negative 2, plus 7y equals 15. If I multiply, I'll have negative 6 plus 7y equals 15. Add 6. So 7y will equal 21. Finally, if I divide by 7, y will equal 3. So our final answer as a solution, which is an ordered pair, should be negative 2, 3. All right, in example 3, it's asking what are the solutions of the following systems. This is a lot like when we were determining what an answer was before we solved, meaning we would figure out, in this case, if they're going to be infinitely many solutions or no solution. We're not at this point going to determine if there's one solution because we'll be able to see it algebraically. Now, if there are infinitely many solutions, we'll notice that one side of the equal sign will equal the other side, meaning I'll have a number equal to a number. So if it's infinitely many, I will have a number equal the same number. If it's no solution, sorry that looks so bad, I will have a number that actually does not equal the other number. So let's look at that. So again, when it's elimination, we're actually just going to get rid of what they have in common. So on the first one, we'll notice that the x's and the y's can be eliminated, and the final answer. Now, if they're eliminated, there is still a number there. Negative 3x plus 3x is actually 0. Positive y and negative y is also 0. So the answer on the left side is 0. And that will equal negative 5 plus 5, which is also 0. 0 always equals 0. So our answer is actually infinitely many solutions. Looks too easy, but I mean, it works. All right, so if we look at the second example, again, the x's will be eliminated, the y's will be eliminated, but I actually have some answer on the right. Well, on the left, I also have an answer. Remember, it will equal 0. Even though I don't see anything, it actually is a 0. And 6 plus 10 is 16. However, 0 will never equal 16, so our answer here is no solution. If you are to get this as a homework problem or even like a quiz problem, you would also still need to show me your work in the sense that you have to show me if the answers equal, if they don't equal. So let's try this again. All right, so again, we need to see if we need to eliminate. Well, now in this first example, they aren't automatically able to be eliminated, so we have to manipulate them. Let's manipulate the x variables. That means their least common denominator will be 2. So I need to make one a positive 2 and the other a negative 2. Well, there's already a positive 2, and the negative is already going on for the first one, so let's just multiply the whole thing by 2 to get negative 2. That will then mean that I have negative 2x plus 2y equal to negative 2, and the same for the second one. The second one remains the same. All right, we once again notice that the x's are gone, the y's are gone, which means I have a 0 on the left and a negative 2 on the right. That is not possible, so this is no solution. Okay, on the right hand side, again, we have to manipulate. The least common multiple for the x's is 12. The least common multiples for the y's is 3. So let's deal with the y's. There's already a positive 3y, so let's make the top one a negative 3y by multiplying by negative 3. If I distribute, I will have negative 12x plus minus 3y. Minus 3y is equal to negative 18. And the other one will be 12x plus 3y equal to 18. We notice that the x's, the y's, and the answers cancel, which means that I have 0 equal to 0. Since that happened, we will have infinitely many solutions as our final answer. And we're done. Be sure to check out your homework. Once again, on the second set of homework, I didn't put which class it is. It's Algebra 2. Again, if you need to come see me for help, just check me out in the morning, or remember Wednesdays and Thursdays after school. All right, guys. Bye.